folks. Tammy and Mr. Chubby want to give you our impressions of this Vanpowers UrbanGlide Standard. Now, we've been riding this thing for several weeks. We've taken it over multiple terrains, ridden it a lot, and now we just want to tell you what we think of it. And I'm not going to quote a lot of specs. I don't have a sheet to read specifications off of. We're going to put specs somewhere in the video description and maybe on a ticker along the bottom so you can geek out on all the specifications. I will cover a few things. This is a small model, so it's really meant for people that are 5'1" up to about 5'9", but their large model goes from 5'7" up. So if you're in that 5'7" to 5'9" range, it's really your preference as to whether you want a little bit smaller bike or a larger bike for your frame size. This one is very, very comfortable. It's ergonomically designed. This one has a 500-watt motor, has a speed sensor, and has a Digitech controller. And I'm not going to give you a tour of the bike. You've seen e-bikes, you've seen e-bike reviews. You can go to Vanpowers website, and we'll link that in our description as well, and you can get a feel for all the details of this bike. This is a Remy green color. Really stands out, really sharp looking color. It's a head turner, so to speak. But it also comes in several other colors. I think there's a more of a maroon red color and like a bluish cobalt type color. But you can check those out on Vanpowers website. Now, I hope you've seen in our video that this bike, it's called an UrbanGlide. They make an UrbanGlide Standard, which is this one. They make an Ultra and they make a Pro. We have the Standard model, and it's really, by name, it's called UrbanGlide. The bike is really intended with these 2.2-inch wide tires. They're 27.5-inch diameter, but they're 2.2 inches wide. It's really intended for pavement riding, sidewalks, asphalt, things like that. UrbanGlide, it's meant to ride around the city, and this bike would be great. But we've shown you in our video that the bike works well on packed, sandy trails, woodsy trails, even on gravel where it's not loose gravel. But a lot of people think, well, it's an urban bike. It's really meant for riding on the street. Yes, it is. But you can use this off-roading a little bit like we do. I mean, that's what we do with our e-bikes. We're woodsy, outdoorsy people, as you can see by this beautiful backdrop here. We didn't get here by dropping this bike in by helicopter. We rode through the trails. We rode some gravel roads, some dirt roads, some bike trails that are intended for mountain bikes. The front zoom suspension gives you plenty of travel. I think it's 180 millimeters of travel. So you can take some of the bumps. The seat is extremely comfortable. It's more like a bike roof seat where it's big and thick and padded. So that takes a lot of the bumps out of your tailbone, so you don't feel those as bad. You get a nice little luggage rack on the back. I think this thing has a 260-pound payload capacity. That's the rider and anything you strap to the bike rack. It comes with the fenders. And like I said, you get heavy duty, I didn't say this, but you get a heavy duty kickstand. You can see it's holding up well on this rock, on this outdoor situation. So we really like this bike. We've had a lot of fun with it. Now, Vanpowers, the price on the bike is $12.99 on their website. But they have been running a sale on this bike for a while. And I don't know how long the sale is going to last, but if you go to Vanpowers website, you can purchase this bike for $1,099. And certain components of this bike have a 6-year warranty. Now, what are our impressions of the bike? Versatility. Like I said, you can ride it on the road, you can ride it on the sidewalk, you can ride it on some well-packed trails, off-roading a little bit, and it's not bad at all. It's not uncomfortable. You don't want to take it. We took it to the beach, and we rode on the beach highways and roads near the beach and on a little bit of very well-packed sandy trails, and it did well. But you don't want to go down to the beach and think you're going to ride this on the beach. You need a big fat tire bike with low PSI in the tires to be able to really ride on the beach, unless you ride right on the water line, because it'll get squirrely. those thin front tires will dig into that sand. I even got a clip, I don't know if we put it in the video or not, we may or may not, where I just hit the throttle and did a donut in the sand, just a complete 360-degree donut, because that just shows you how well these tires will cut into the sand. So you're not going to get a lot of support and travel on loose sand. So don't think you're going to buy this bike and take it to the beach and ride on the sand. Couple of key points that we do like about the bike, besides the versatility, we like the really shocking color. We've always had vehicles that are funny, wild looking colors. We had an orange truck one time, and we like those cement and cobalt looking color cars. We've had just crazy color. I had an orange motorcycle one time. We just like those crazy colors. And this isn't crazy, but it's just cool. It's a really nice color. Stands out well. I can keep up with Tammy on the trails because I can see her through the woods, and I can find her when she gets ahead of me. The bike, and I'm not going to tell you how to ride an e-bike. We've done that in other videos, but the bike has 5 pedal assist modes. It has a top speed of 20 miles an hour. It does have a throttle only mode. It has a throttle on the left thumb here, which is a very convenient place for it. We've ridden them with the right and the left, and the left just seems to be more natural and more useful and easy to do. It has front and rear brakes. I think these are 180 millimeter rotors. It has a Digitech controller, and it comes with a really nice, it's a 40 amp hour battery for this 500 watt motor. It comes with a really nice charger. It is the exact same charger and connection that we have for our Aventon e-bikes, which are much more expensive e-bikes, and they're off-road e-bikes. They're fat tires. So we were really impressed with that. The charger is interchangeable. So it's really cool. You can remove the battery if you're scared somebody's going to steal your bike. It has a lock system here. You put your key in, you unlock, your battery pops out from the top, and you can charge on the bike or you can charge off the bike. So that's a good feature. We like the fact that it's lighter weight than our Aventons. Our Aventons come in at about 75, close to 80 pounds with all the accessories. But we like the fact that this one isn't quite that heavy. This one I'm going to put the weight down here somewhere, but I think it's around 55 to 60 pounds. It's not that heavy. It's easy to load in and out of our truck or onto a bike rack. And the other cool feature that I'm really starting to appreciate is because the other week when I was remodeling at my house, I injured my ankle. I have a big knot there, and that pain goes all the way around my leg. This bike only comes in the step-through model. By step-through, it doesn't have the crossbar that you see in a lot of bikes. So you just step through the frame and you're on the other side. So it's a lot more comfortable for you to get on and off the bike with that step-through feature. So that's a cool feature that I really like. I didn't really consider that when we bought our original e-bikes, because at the time I didn't have an injury. Now, Tammy has had knee surgery. She has 2 plates, 6 screws in her leg, and I've injured my leg, and we really appreciate this step-through version of these e-bikes. So consider that if you're in the market for an e-bike, whether you consider a Vanpowers or any other brand, think about that step-through feature. The cool thing about the step-through is as you get older, you may not be planning on having a knee injury, but our neighbor just sold their house because it was a 2-story house. He broke his hip, and now he can't get up and down the stairs. He had to buy a single-story home. So you never know what's in your future. So think about that when you get ready to purchase an e-bike. As I've said before, these e-bikes are great for tiny home communities. That's how it ties into our channel. You can zoom around your campground, your trails, your tiny home community, visit your friends, go to the water, go to the beach, whatever you want with your e-bike, save some gas, save Mother Nature. You're using battery power, so you're not polluting the air with emissions and all those things. And those are some of the key features of e-bikes and why we like e-bikes so much. Plus, they get you outdoors. They do give you some exercise. Even with my leg injury and with Tammy's surgery, it has not stopped her. The minute the doctors cleared her for exercise, she's been able to ride e-bikes. Because what does the e-bike do? It gives you that assistance, that extra power to get you going. So you're not pedaling as hard as if you were riding a 10-speed or a 15-speed or something like that. Now, this bike comes with 7 speeds. It's a Shimano shifter, and it's a thumb shifter, so it's really easy. You don't have all these levers and things like that you have to get. It's got one lever to click up and one button to click down, which is a really nice feature on this. I wish my Aventon had the same shifter because this one's really easy to use. It does have a Digitech controller unit, and it's a really nice display. I've got a picture of that you've probably seen somewhere in the video. And then the other key thing is the 20-mile-an-hour speed. Top speed is about all you need if you're getting older. Our e-bikes will go a little faster than that, and sometimes the speed is just almost a little bit scary. But a lot of regulations in a lot of states in the United States do not allow e-bikes to be over 20 miles an hour. So that's why these are set at 20 miles an hour. Those are for safety reasons and for other reasons. Then they get into regulating them as mopeds and want to tax them and all this stuff. It's kind of like tiny homes. Tiny homes are their own niche. E-bikes are their own niche. And the government doesn't know what to do with them. They want some money out of them, but they don't want to be too restrictive. So that's the point about that. Now, negatives to the bike. The only negative I have, and I've spoken to Vanpowers about this, and we've tried a couple workarounds, but that top speed of 20 miles an hour with the speed sensor, once you get that 20 miles an hour, you really don't get a lot faster than that. Our e-bikes have a cadence sensor as well, but if you get to the max speed and you're on the right incline and things, you can keep pedaling and you can go faster. This one has a little bit of drag to it when you hit that 20 miles an hour, but you really can't go much over 20 miles an hour. And that, to me, that's just a little bit of a drawback, a little bit of a negative. Now, the other drawback is you have to deal with the way this controller is set up. And I'm sure there's some geeks out there could probably reprogram it, but the controller is set as such that in pedal assist 1, you can still reach 20 miles an hour, which is cool. That means you can go fast and save some battery power. When you click it up to pedal assist 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're still not getting any more speed. You're just getting more power. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, power doesn't always equal speed. So the way the controller works this bike is it's just giving you more torque as you go up in pedal assist. It's not giving you more speed capability. So your pedal assists are really going to come in handy when you're going up and down hills. So if you're going up a steeper hill, you're going to crank that pedal assist up to 3, 4, 5. This bike really shines on flat ground. That is where it really does its work. It struggles a little bit with the hills, but you've got to remember to crank that pedal assist up. We're so used to other e-bikes that was a little challenge for us. But as Tammy has told me, the more we ride this e-bike, the more we really enjoy it. So, overall, we've talked about all the positives. We've talked about a couple little drawbacks, but they're not really terrible drawbacks at all. Price point is just over $1,000. If you're going to get a quality e-bike, you're going to spend at least $1,000. So, for this price category, how do we rate this e-bike? Tammy and I have had a long, drawn discussion about it. I'm not going to do that on film for you. But for all the positives and a few little bit of drawbacks, we're giving this bike a 9.0 out of 10. 10 being the highest, 1 being the worst. You're not going to waste your money if you're buying this e-bike. You're not going to buy something that's going to sit in the garage and you're not going to use. If you're driving around the campgrounds, relatively flat ground, urban areas in the city, you can go to Vanpowers. You can watch tons of videos of people riding these things around the city. We have shown you the versatility, so we want you to appreciate that. So drive around campgrounds, your tiny home communities, this bike's great for you. We appreciate you guys watching us, listening to us talk about e-bikes. If you've recently bought an e-bike or you're in the market for one, check this one out. But if you've recently bought one, let us know what you think about e-bikes in our comments. We want you to like our videos, share them with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so every time we upload something, you'll be notified. Most of the time we tour tiny homes, but occasionally we'll review products that we're interested in and that we use. We only review ones that we use. So you know we love e-bikes, so there you go. The Vanpowers UrbanGlide Standard 9.0 out of 10 gets a thumbs up. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next video.